Hey guys, what's up? iBubba's here today. Gonna decided to make a little video. I'm so hyped about season 13 in Diablo. This is the day before, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a video, uh, doing some tips and things as I'm getting ready, because I've just been kind of planning out my day tomorrow. Uh, for the season start and planning out my character. I'm going to probably make a Crusader because I don't really have a group to play with. So I'll probably just make Crusader and solo it for the most part. Some of my friends will probably jump on and stuff. But I thought, hey, I'll make a video just to kind of let people know of some tactics and stuff that I use to get to just make my season a lot easier. To me, getting past level 70 and getting your set bonus is one of the real big things that a lot of people, I guess, struggle with a little bit. Like some people even wait till a few days later and try to get power levels. I don't like that because I think the fun part is, experiencing like the first day, getting your character up and, starting from nothing and not having people carry you and stuff. and that's just what I find enjoyable in the game. So I thought, I'll put my tips and things in here because I usually hit level 70 pretty quick. Some of the people on my friends list that I know are farming with groups, obviously get to level 70 and Paragon levels a lot faster than me because I usually play solo. But a lot of the other solo people I see on my friends list and stuff, and in general, I'm usually way ahead of them. And so I'm like, hey, I'll just make this quick video. It probably won't be quick, but, I like to talk. But yeah, I'll just tell you a few tips of what I like to do. And I'll start off by telling you what's probably the fastest way. The fastest way I see people level is, which I don't like to do it, I have done it in the past, is grind. You'll just find a high dense area in the game and you'll just grind one or two maps over and over and over again until you get to level. And I don't like doing that because you usually miss out on a lot of stuff because it takes advantage of getting the massacre bonus. So you just want to keep killing, constantly killing stuff to keep that massacre bonus, and bam, you get a huge chunk of XP. So you usually don't pick up a lot of stuff. So when you hit level 70, you've got very minimal gear and you don't have a lot of materials and stuff to work with. But I figured I'd tell you that just in case you want to know probably the fastest way to get to level 70. But in my opinion, it's not the most efficient. I like doing things efficient, I like saying like, hey, I'm level 70 and bam, now I've got all this stuff done and tons of stuff to work with. Even though it's probably a little bit slower. So don't mind my squeaky ass chair. So what I like to do is I'll break this down in a few steps. The first part is getting to around level 16. And what I like to do for that is I'll come in and I'll do like a few bounties. I'll find some easy boss bounties, or like I'll go to Act 4, like the Hell Rift one's really easy to do. Just some really quick areas, and the reason I like the boss bounties like Magda, you can see there we got a bounty. Zoltan Cool, the Skeleton King, basically all the bosses that are super easy to get to, like really quick to kill. I like doing their bounties because when you kill the boss you get a chest, and that chest will have a few yellows in it that can really help you out with your power, especially early on. So I like doing that. And then I'll kind of do the farm thing, the grind, for just a little bit. But I make sure to pick up stuff. I don't worry about getting the super bonuses. Sometimes if there's a bunch of easy bounties to do, I'll just clear out an act of bounties. I wouldn't recommend just doing a ton of bounties to level because it's not that great. You don't get that good of rewards. But if they're quick and easy, I like getting 4 or 5 done because that completes your first chapter, super easy. And the reason why we do that is when you hit level 70, you basically can instantly get your first 2 set pieces, which can help out a lot for most classes anyway. So that's why I like to just go ahead and get it out of the way as quick as possible while I'm leveling, so that as soon as I hit level 70, I just have 1 or 2 things to do and I'm done. Like super fast, usually within like a minute of hitting level 70, I'm just like bam, chapter 2 done. So then after you've hit around level 16, give or take a few levels, one of the other things you can do is go ahead and get your cube. This is great because there's a lot of enemies and they're pretty easy to fight. So just go ahead and go get your cube. You might as well. You have to do it anyway. You can wait till you're up a few levels and have a run skill if you want a little bit of movement to help you get through. But just go ahead and get that done. If you don't get it done early, I would recommend when you're in your 60s going and doing it. Just get it done before you hit level 70. But that's something I usually try to do very early on, is get that cube. And then that brings us to our next thing, which a lot of people might cry about. But what I do around level 16 to 20 is I go to campaign mode. And people are going to be like, what? Why the heck would you go to campaign mode? Well, the reason why is if you beat the Skeleton King for the first time at a low level, you can get the Leoric's Crown. And Leoric's Crown can really help you out through the whole game, because you can put gems in it, and they'll increase their effect by however much you have. And then once you're done, once you get up to higher level, you can throw that crown in your Leoric's cube, or in your Leoric's cube, really. You can throw the crown in your cube, and a lot of classes like the Crusader I'm going to be playing needs the Leoric's Crown in the cube anyway, so might as well throw it in there and go ahead and get it early. And it'll help a lot with a lot of classes, especially to get your Greater Rift level 20 done. Having that Leoric's Crown, it can be pretty powerful to help with your survivability. And it'll help with levels early on, because you should have a red gem in your helmet at all times anyway. While you're gaining levels, it'll just make it that much faster. And always make sure to put the highest level red gem you have as you get them in your crown. And then by the time you kill Leoric on campaign mode, or the Skeleton King, you should have around level 20, 21, somewhere right around there. And the reason why I like killing the Skeleton King a little later is because you get some movement speed and stuff. By the time you hit level 16, you usually have a movement skill on whatever class you're playing, which you can just fly through the first part of the campaign to kill Leoric. I do know people on my friends list, again, some of these people are ones that play in groups, that will just start in campaign mode, get their Leoric's Crown, and some of them even, like some of the group, like 3 people in the group will go and farm regularly while that one person gets to Leoric, then the other 3 join him and they all get the crown, and then they get out and go back to farming, all 4 of them then. But if you play solo, I like waiting till around level 16. That way you have some good movement speed, some good hard-hitting skills, and you can fly through it pretty quick. That way it's not a hassle, because I like moving fast in Diablo. So then around level 20, 21, after you've gotten your Leoric's Crown, just do Nephilim Rifts. Nothing but Nephilim Rifts. You'll get a few blood shards here and there. Don't spend those right away unless you're getting close to your cap, which you probably, most usually by the time I hit level 70, I've had to maybe spend like 40 or 50 blood shards to keep from hitting the cap. But, you know, sometimes it differs. But, yeah, I just like to get those blood shards from the Nephilim Rifts. Nephilim Rifts obviously give really good legendary drops and stuff. So until at least level 60, 61, just do nothing but rifts. When you hit level 60 to 61, you should finish up everything you can on your season chapter 1 and chapter 2. Everything that you can do that doesn't require level 70, you can do. Like, you usually have to kill Diablo and the Siege Breaker, I think it is. You go kill those guys at level 60. I think they're required level 60 to kill them. Go ahead and go kill them, especially if they come up as a bounty after level 60. Make sure you go kill those guys, the Siege Breaker and Diablo. And yeah, just finish everything up you can. Like I said, that way when you hit level 70, it's just pretty much instant. You know, you have to craft a couple things and bam. You've got your chapter 2 done, and that's your first Hadric gifts. Your usually helm and gloves. You get instantly when you hit level 70, which is really nice when you're starting out. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it to level 70. Once you hit level 70, then it's just pretty much do all the things to do your season journey. Just keep plugging away at those. Maybe do a couple rifts. Sometimes I'll do like T1, a couple of Nephilim rifts when I hit level 70. If I'm not quite powerful enough to do the things required for the season journey. And sometimes I'll even do a couple greater rifts. Like a couple low level ones. Just to, you know, you have to do a couple anyway usually to get up to your 20. To do your level 20 greater rift. So, you know, why not go ahead and get a couple of those out of the way? Maybe you'll get lucky and get a legendary gem that could really help you. You know, if you get one of the gems that give you like more health, or, you know, the wildebeest gizzard or whatever the heck it is, you know, is a pretty underrated legendary gem that could really help you out a lot early game. So even at level 1, there's a few gems that could really be powerful to help you get that level 20 greater rift out. So why not go ahead and do a couple greater rifts? But for the most part, I usually just fly right through, and doing the greater rift level 20 is what people seem to have the most trouble with. And I think just as long as you keep an eye on gear and everything, you shouldn't have much trouble. I usually fly right through the first 4 chapters fairly easy. One thing I do, remember all those blood shards I told you to hold on to as you're leveling, doing rifts and stuff. You should be pretty well capped at whatever the starting cap is, like 500 or 600. At that time, as soon as I hit level 70, I'll get a couple items, like maybe a weapon. You know, a legendary weapon can be huge when you hit level 70. And maybe a couple rings or a belt, or try to get a pair of Nemesis bracers or something like that, is what I spend my first set of blood shards on. You know, that's what I do. You don't have to. You can, you know, spot and go try to go for a certain legendary you need, especially if it's a build that has a lot more legendary requirements, because some are super easy. You get the 6-piece set and then maybe like one item, and it's super easy. Some, like, you need these 3 items in the cube, and you need this item, or else you're not going to be able to do anything past T1, even if you have your tier 6 set. But there are a few builds like that are a little worse. So with those, you may want to try to focus on a couple legendaries. But for the most part, I usually try to get 2 or 3 legendary pieces on my gear as soon as I hit level 70, and then of course I go and craft to make sure every single piece is level 70, um, which you usually need to craft at least one armor piece or weapon piece and a ring and an amulet usually for your season journey anyway. So why not go ahead and get those out of the way? You know, and you'll potentially get something better. And then after that, after doing your, you know, your season journey, if you are having trouble getting your Greater Rift 20, just do a few more Nephilim Rifts and try to get a little more power, a little more survivability, whatever it is you need. Remember to keep throwing stuff in your cube. You know, there's some items that even drop at low levels that you can just throw in your cube, you know, like the Leeworks crown. There's also some amulets and stuff that you could get, like a lot of these with like the poison damage one, there's a cold damage one, you know, you've got the arcane damage one. You know, these can be a good amount of help early on in the game. Just, you know, preventing one damage type could be nice. Especially since they heal as well. So just look out for things like that you throw in your cube. I do recommend that you keep enough of the materials to at least get the couple things you need in the cube for your build. That way if you do get them, you can just instantly throw them in and you're good to go. But yeah, you know, don't be afraid to spend those blood shards and things. Another thing is, I like crafting weapons and stuff, especially two-handed axes. You know, at level 8 you can craft your first two-handed axe. And then pretty much, you know, 16, 21, 29, you know, you don't have to craft these at every level, but just make sure you keep crafting decent weapons. You know, they can add a lot of power. And the most important one is level 61. As soon as you hit level 61, make sure you craft this level 61 weapon. If you look at the 58 weapon, 600. If you look at this one, 1,200. Pretty much double the damage just by crafting a level 61 weapon. So that's something that I always look out to do. And, you know, obviously make sure you keep training your guys as you go. That's why I don't like doing the grind, because you have no money and no stuff to craft anything with. If you do it my way, you have a bunch better materials, money to spend on getting all your trainers up. You know, it's nice if you get a decent item that has a ton of vitality but no main stat. You just walk over to the enchantress, you know, and bam, like change up that stat. You know, and it could be huge. You know, especially if you have like a pair of level 11 pants that have like hardly anything on them, but you get like a level 50 pair of pants drop that have really good vitality but no main stat. You just go to the Mystic, put main stat on them, and boom, like you have an amazing piece of gear for level 50. So don't be afraid to craft. Don't be afraid to use the enchantress a little bit as you're leveling up. That'll help you immensely. And yeah, I recommend picking up as much as you can, and you know, just go to the forger and salvage that stuff to get as much materials as you can. And that'll kind of bring us to my next thing that I see a lot of people not doing. A lot of people don't have a pet. You know, it's super easy at level 1 when you log in. Just go to your pet and just select a pet. And you'd be surprised at how much more gold you get early on just by selecting that pet, and it keeps you from having to run around the battlefield. You know, hey, there's some gold over here, there's some gold over here. You know, your pet will fly or walk or whatever and go get all the things. So that can help you a lot early on. I see a lot of people playing at the lower levels without their pet. You know, they're thinking like level, that's all I need to do is just level. When it's like, hey man, if you just spend the 3 seconds it takes to equip a pet, you can be getting a lot more gold that way. So that's something easy to remember that I see a lot of people doing, is just not putting on their pet at the start to pick that gold up for them. that's pretty much it for all the leveling stuff. It's pretty much basic stuff if you've played action RPGs for a while. Should be nothing new. Just make sure your stat priorities for most characters is going to be just vitality, your main stat, and sockets. You know, those sockets can help out a lot. You know, if you find an item that has like int vit, but maybe armor, but no, you know, no sockets, it may be better for you to just craft some sockets on that chest piece real quick to throw a few gems in it. Can really help get your power up, and especially throwing red gems in your weapon. You know, you craft a socket on a weapon and throw a red gem in it, you know, you've got a ton more damage that you're doing. Even at lower levels with lower level gems, can still be worth it to make sure you pop a socket in that weapon and put a red gem in it. So yeah, the last thing that I have that I see a lot of people have, it's not a huge thing, but it's something that I think makes the game so much easier that a lot of people don't do. If you watch some higher level guys, the pros I guess, play Diablo 3, when they move you'll notice that there's this big long string of yellow out at their cursor. And a lot of people don't even know what that is. And I've had a few people be like, you know, how come you don't ever have any troubles like moving around and stuff? Like, you know, you'll be fighting like a group of guys and something bad's about to happen, like an explosion, and oh, you accidentally click on this guy and you attack him, and then you boom, explode, and your character dies, and then you gotta wait to resurrect. Or if you're in hardcore, you're just dead. Instead, you can just be doing this, and I'll show you what this is. If you go into your options and scroll down to gameplay, there's this thing called force move. And if you equip force move to your mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down, you will not regret it. In my opinion, it is the way to play Diablo 3. Like, I don't see how a lot of people do not have that. And it synergizes well if you have the illusory boots, which is a really good set of boots to have low level, especially some classes even prefer these. Is you can move through enemies, right? So if you get surrounded by a bunch of guys, you normally would just be stuck here, but with the illusory boots, it makes it easy to get out. And as long as you have your mouse wheel set to force move, you're not going to accidentally click on these guys, you know, like, oh no, I attacked this guy and die. You can just bam, move right out. And I'll show you kinda, I'll hold down space, and I'm not going to let go of space, right? So let's say I'm attacking and some explosions are about to happen. I'm like, oh no, I can just immediately, you can see I still have space bar down. So I can run and still attack and run. This is me using my mouse wheel to move. Now, if you don't have a mouse wheel on your mouse that is free spin, you might not be able to do this. I'm going to go ahead and switch my mouse now. I have a Logitech G something, G502 I think. It's a pretty older mouse, but I love it. Love Logitech. But it has to where I can actually make it a regular mouse where the mouse wheel does the clicks. And you can probably hear it in the background even because my mic picks up everything. But that's what's going to happen if you have a regular mouse. It still works out just fine doing it this way. It's just a little better with the free spin mouse. And I mean, most gaming mouses today will come with this. If not, you know, go on Amazon for like 15-20 bucks. You can probably pick up a cheap mouse that has free spin on it. So that when you click it, this is really good if you're playing a charge barb. Back in the day when I used to play charge barb, this was the way to go. Having a mouse that did this, you could just fly through stuff. But yeah, this is, even like I said, even if you have a regular mouse that doesn't have the free spin mouse wheel on it, it's still going to be a lot better, because you can see, let me just stop it right here. I'm going to spin it once. This right here is one mouse spin. I'm not touching the mouse wheel at all anymore. That right there was one mouse spin. So, I mean, with the free spin mouse, it's pretty nice to get through enemies fast and safe. To just keep spinning your mouse and running, especially if early on you get a pair of illusory boots. Can help out a lot. Or just help out in general, especially in higher level greater rifts. Sometimes it comes down to, when you're doing a greater rift 100 plus, it may come down to just that quick of an action, being able to get the heck out of there, as opposed to accidentally clicking on an enemy and attacking them. So, just a little tip, something that's really nice. I think you should consider doing. Like I said, even if you had a regular mouse, it's still going to be a lot better to have that force move on your mouse, just to be able to move around a lot quicker without fear of attacking stuff and getting hindered. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my spiel for today. I hope that helps some of you guys out a little bit. Kind of going through my leveling process. Maybe there's something in there you guys never thought about. I know a lot of people, when I tell them to go to campaign mode and get that Leoric's crown, they're like, what? But yeah, I mean, if you don't know, you can get a Leoric's crown, I'm pretty sure, at just about any level, which you shouldn't really be there under like level 10 or so anyway, in my opinion. But it's something that you can do, and you can do for your group as well. If you're playing with a group, one of you that maybe has a little faster, better build can just start the campaign, and then you guys join and kill the orc, and get back to farming that way, in order to get some helmets. And that Leoric's crown, will help immensely. Just help you level up a little bit faster. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, any thoughts, make sure to leave comments down below. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you don't like the video, I'm sure you're already going to hit the thumbs down anyway. But make sure you subscribe for more videos. Path of Exile, Diablo, probably going to be Fallout and stuff in the future. And yeah, I will see you guys later.